Hello, my name is Audrey, and I'd like to welcome you to day 18 of the 25 days of Copilots. Today, we're going to talk about how you can use Copilots to send notification reminders to your smartwatch. So think about that. As long as your smartwatch sends notifications to you, then you can use it this way. My smartwatch is independent of my phone in that it also has a cellular connection, so it acts as a phone for me to make calls. But everything that I decide that I want to come to my watch can come to my watch. And basically, I start by doing this. And you would do this in the smartwatch OS that you have, but you would navigate to wherever you configure notifications. What you see on the screen here is for the Apple Watch, but most smartwatches have a notification option. So you would click notifications, and then as you navigate and turn them on for your watch, you can decide what you'd like them to come from. Like you can decide, I want them to come from my email, or I want them to come from Teams. So as long as these applications are installed somewhere, then you can connect them to your watch. All right. And so there are two that I always connect, and that's Mail and Teams. But there are others that I might choose to connect as well. But I'm going to let you look at a simple notification today. But think about all the different things, software that you might have on your phone that you would love to be notified on in your watch. And there is customization options where you can actually configure the notifications so that maybe it's not all of your email, but it's only your VIP email. So things like that are very helpful when it comes to getting information to your smartwatch. I really love that I've reduced my phone time considerably because I'm doing mostly everything on my watch, and my watch will show me kind of what's most important. And so I figured out cool ways to give myself reminders that are based on AI Builder GPT models, which are being powered by GPT Foundation models. Okay, and this is kind of what they look like. The notification pops up showing the text. It will always start, when it comes from one of these foundation models, it'll always start with that initial response, which may be a definition of something. The one on the left is defining planets before it actually gives the generated text, and we'll look at that one together. And then the one on the right is actually saying, I'm happy to give you a journaling prompt. So it kind of puts that first before it actually gives you the journaling prompt. So we'll take a look at these two, but this is how it looks. These are screenshots directly from the watch, and we'll run over to Power Automate. I'm using Power Automate from this because I'm scheduling these. So think of being able to schedule reminders every morning, every afternoon, or at a specific time of day that has GPT-related content. I'm going to start with this daily science fact. I love this one a lot. Basically, all the things I'm teaching you are using this action called create text with GPT using a prompt. And on day 11, I went into some really careful details on how to create a prompt, a custom prompt using AI Builder credits, right? So this one is called Space Fact. But if I drop this down, these are all my custom plus the out-of-the-box AI Builder GPT models. So in essence, I'm creating my own GPTs to generate information for me. You may be wondering, but will you be prompting every morning? So let me show you how I kind of hacked my way through this one. So I click edit here so you can see the actual prompt. And in this case, I just wanted, I'm getting into like the stars and the universe and the planets. And so I wanted to kind of generate a fact for myself that I could glance at on my watch every day to kind of increase my knowledge of the universe day by day. And so I wrote this prompt: draft a short paragraph with a fact about, and then I added a dynamic value for subject in the universe and include a picture if possible. Now, I know it can't include pictures. I've done enough testing to know these AI builder models will not include pictures. So if you want a picture, you'll have to go to Bing Chat for Enterprise or DALL-E to get the pictures. So I'll remove that. Now, why this is just super flexible is I can test this with the word planets, okay, and test that, and it'll give me a fact about planets. Like here they gave a fact about Jupiter, right? And so you get this little prompt. Now I could also change this to stars, right? Test the prompt. And now we get some information about stars, right? So I'm just going to save the prompt, but then this variable here, this dynamic value, I'm going to hard code it in my flow. And the reason I'm going to hard code it is because I just want a different one on the same subject every day until I decide to change it. So I set it as planets, and it'll stay planets until I come in here and edit it to stars. So it's a kind of a cool way to create your own knowledge source using GPTs. I kind of enjoy doing this. Now, because I'm using the out-of-the-box action in Power Automate, create text with a GPT using prompt, I will have to start and wait for an approval of text. And so basically all of my out-of-the-box prompts, I just approve them first thing in the morning, kind of when I wake up. I go to the approval center and approve them. But I also found out you don't have to do this if instead of using this action, you sign up for an Azure AI services includes something just like this, and it will not force you to put the approval action. So it's kind of a good way when you have a lot of them to do and you don't want to have to do a lot of approvals. So I'll put some notes in the description about how you can request Azure AI services. And then you would use that here instead, and you can go straight to whatever you'd like to go to. So I thought of a few things to do this with, and I kind of tried a bunch out. So let me just save this one. And I'll show you a couple others I did. I did a journaling helper. So basically this is a GPT that every morning gives me a prompt for my morning journaling. So I journal every morning, and it's just a flow of text that I write. It's my writing exercise, right? And so I want a prompt every morning, and so I've scheduled this to give me a prompt. And let me show you what the this is kind of a play on words, because prompt for journaling prompt is different from GPT prompt, but I think you get what I'm coming from. So what I say to my GPT prompt is I say draft a journaling prompt which will help me have ideas for my morning pages journaling. And here I totally just threw in a dynamic value because you must have at least one. And again, I'm going to hard code it to morning and then test that. And you'll see I'll get a nice little prompt for me to go sit down with my journal and write a few pages before I start my day, right? And so again, after I save the prompt, I always test it, and I will hard code it in the flow so that every day it just gives me a new prompt when I wake up in the morning. Another one that I did, and I'm not even going to bother to save that because I don't think I changed anything, was a news poem. This is kind of cute, and I'll share the deck with you at the end. You'll get the deck with all of these prompts and stuff at the end of the 25 days. But the news poem prompt has a parameter of 2, or I should say a dynamic value, if I use the proper terminology. It has a dynamic value of a number. Okay, so I can pick any number. So the prompt is draft a brief summary of top 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want. Trends in technology news in the style of a friendly poem. And now that number can be pre-populated with any number, but I'm going to test it here with the number 2, and you see it kind of gives me a nice little poem about trends in technology, and it does the number that I asked for, and it all rhymes and kind of cool stuff. So you can look at this yourself, press pause if you want to read it. But I don't know, I think this is kind of cool. Just one more thing, I think you could also set this up for your parents or so your family, right? Especially if you have teams for family. Instead of what I used in all of these samples this morning is the mobile notification, because it was going to myself. But this could be a Teams adaptive card. It could be an email to your mom. Maybe you want to remind your mom to take her daily pill or to do her exercise or whatever it is you want to remind your mom. Maybe you just want to tell her you love her. You could generate a poem that tells your mom why you love her in under 50 words or something, and email that to her every day. And so you would replace this with email. If it's something you want to post to your team every day, you would replace this with an adaptive card in Teams possibly. And kind of really cool idea for not only getting information to your watch that's you're learning something every day or being reminded to do something every day, but giving you the capability to set up those kind of things even for friends and family, that you can send love notes and things like that, and or just for work purposes to give everyone a draft of a blog or something that you want the team to work on together. Maybe you want to generate a draft blog every Monday morning and then have them work on it together during the week. So this is the kind of thing you can do, and you can have these notifications popped up not only on your desktop, but on your mobile devices, your phones, and your smartwatches. I will give you this deck at the end of the 25 days, which has some of these prompts that I was talking about. Now, I want to point out something. This one, it says, in the style of the poem written by Edgar Allan Poe. This works in ChatGPT. It also works in, I believe, Bing Chat, right? But it will not work in any of the enterprise co-pilots for fear it may be picking up something copyrighted. So the filters will kick in. Same thing with the pictures. You won't get any pictures using AI Builder and such. And again, there's just a limitation on what can come back to the user. So there is a layer of filtering running around these responses to make sure they're enterprise friendly and non-biased and so forth. So you'll notice those two differences. And so I'll remove the style and the picture from the deck so that when you get it, it's the ones you can use with AI Builder. But I did want to tell you that. All right, I think that's enough for day 18, where we talk about how you can send reminders to your smartwatch. Happy holidays. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow and the day after, you're going to be surprised that you're going to get to hear from one of my favorite people, April Dunham. Both of her videos will be added to the Copilots playlist, so look forward to that. Thank you for watching, and happy holidays.